So, this guy thinks he has proof of God, huh? Scholastic Answers. You really think that you have an argument I haven't heard before? Don't you know who I am? I am the converted man, the Lord of lobsters and logic. Behold your reckoning, your time has come. Soon I shall reap asunder, as I show all the logical fallacies that you have produced for the world to see. Yes, I will mark them all down. I will trace every one. I will formulate a response using syllogisms and yes, even Vegas Pro stopping working can't stop me now. Behold, nothing can stop me. Watch me. Watch me. Watch me. Watch as I take this ship and eat it. Man here?
Can natural reason prove the existence of God?
No. I'm just kidding. Now we're gonna analyze this video for logical fallacies.
Begins with the fact, something we can all equally see around us, that there is motion in the world, that there are efficient causes, that there are non-necessary beings, that there are differences of perfection, that there is order. Then he adds a second premise.
That's 5 premises, not 1. You can't go to premise 2 if you're at premise 5. Number 1, there is motion. Well, this is true. There is indeed motion in the universe. And that motion primarily is caused by gravity. Gravity pulls things with mass together, and so that's all that's needed to make motion happen. No God required. Efficient causes, well, maybe, but there's another factor that he couldn't have known about in his time, which is quantum mechanics, fundamental space-time equations, basic physical laws that are often time reversible and framed in terms of mathematical correlations or conservation laws rather than traditional cause and effect. So this potential counterexample basically blows this out of the water. There are beings that need not be. Well, that seems to be the case, but what if we live in a deterministic universe where everything had to be? In that case, then there are no beings that need not be because all of them had to be. I'm not saying that we are in this deterministic universe, but I'm saying that if we are, then this is negated. And so, because of this counterexample, this premise fails. Degrees of perfection is completely subjective. So, there's no coherent way to actually decide what is perfect. If something is perfect, then it's without flaw, and then there's no degree there. Or does he mean something else by this? It's very unclear. It seems to be that he is saying, oh, there's goodness, and there's truth, and there's nobility, and some of that is better than others, but that's decided by humans, and that varies from culture to culture, and people to people, and times, and so it's subjective and not an objective observation of reality, and thus fails. Order toward an end. Well, what do you mean by order? Because some things in the universe may appear orderly, but others maybe not. And if end you mean entropy, then yeah, sure, I guess we're all orderly going towards entropy. I'm not sure that that gets you to where you want to go, so I think that this premise also fails. Gravity negates his first premise in full. He didn't consider it as a thing that would act without any external force necessary, and so his first idea of movement is just blown out of the water. Quantum mechanics presents a serious problem for his second premise. The potential of there being a deterministic universe allows for a counter to his third premise. The fact that his fourth premise is subjective means that he needs to rewrite it so it isn't subjective anymore. His fifth premise just seems to kind of fall apart because entropy means that the order is leading to absolute nothingness, which I guess is complete total order in a sense, but that seems kind of weird for a god being to want things to end like that. But none of this really gets to God without adding more to these premises. But if already we have to doubt the premises, which we do, that means nothing further can hope to lead us to the conclusion he wants, because we have either fallacies or we have counters to his argument. In either case, we have to be skeptical of his conclusion. Why is this argument still used today? Apologists don't have anything else to offer. Where's the logical fallacies? Well, I think in the fact that these things are not constructed with knowledge that we have now. And that really gets us to an interesting idea. In his time, this might have been seen as a sound argument because we didn't know any better. But a sound argument can only be sound if the premises are indeed true. But future discoveries may reveal that those premises are not true, unless it's something that can be demonstrated without any potential for counterexamples to appear. Your argument could turn out to be false. You have to be willing to accept that there's a limit of informal logic, and that limit is what can be known. And his biggest flaw is in addressing the entire universe, and the universe going backwards in time as well. Because what's true now might not be true in the distant past when you have Planck temperature ruling supreme in the universe. Things were very different then, and so different ideas of how logic works might have to be invented to explain that type of universe. So, what does this mean for logic? Does it mean that all your arguments could potentially be fallacious? Well, no. As long as it's known that the premises are true, that you can demonstrate that the premises are true. But if you can't, or if you're unsure, then you have to be skeptical of your conclusion. And what that means varies from person to person and culture to culture, so it's a complete